Okay, what I'm going to do is cut off one piece of this with my reciprocating saw here, just about 2 inches worth, so that and this is kind of not the right tool for this, but that's all I got, and it's a lot easier than using the cutting wheel on the angle grinder. It turns out that takes quite a while, so this is going to make a racket, and we're going to go for it. And there you go. So we have approximately 2 inches, probably a bit more than 2 inches. Now I'm going to grind the ends off, and then I'm going to grind this part, roughly 1/2 of it, to 0.45 inches, so that it fits the power takeoff drive on the KitchenAid. Okay, so I've set my calipers to, you can see it's 0.48 inches. I need the final square to be 0.45 inches. So really I should go 0.475 and then 0.45, but I'm going to go 0.48 and then 0.46, so that I have I want to then file down the last little bits to get a really tight fit. Okay. So I don my gloves, which hopefully will keep the vibration to a minimum. The vibration is quite bad, and it leaves your hands tingling. So I bought these gloves just now to see if that would help. We will find out soon enough. So now here's the beast, and I'm going to grind very carefully and slowly, because I really do want to get it down. I'm going to only grind this little bit. I think that's pretty good. We may have to, almost certainly have to grind some more when we actually fit the thing into the slot. Now I'm going to do the other two sides. So here we have 0.46. So I'm going to go check it on the grinder now. So what I've done so far is ground the adapter shaft, which is this guy over here. Let's hope it refocuses. So I ground it down on just half of this. So there's approximately 2 inches here, and I ground down about 1 inch, so that it's 0.46 inches square or thereabouts. It turns out that it's closer to 0.46 inches rather than 0.45 inches as mentioned on the internet. So this does fit, and fits pretty snugly. Now there is nothing to actually hold it there. So what I'm hoping to do is, when we screw the cutting head on, since you'll be pushing with the coconut. So now you can see that this thing is, the hole that I managed to thread is quite off center. Now I couldn't do any better given that I don't have a drill press. So if you and hopefully the eccentricity won't matter too much because we're really, after all, scraping a coconut. But I'll have to try and see. If this doesn't work, then I'll have to thread another hole, cut this off and thread another hole with a drill press, and maybe that'll work better. And now back to our cutting head here, the thing that I cannibalized from the old manual coconut scraper. So I cut the shaft off, it was very long, so the eccentricity would have been even worse. So now what I'm doing is I'm cutting a thread on the shaft, because I need it to be threaded so that it will go into the. So what this, I bought a tap and die set, and the idea there is that you put this 3-in-1 oil in there, and then you cut and back out. You cut and back out, so. Once you get it started, it's not so bad. So the thread, by the way, is an M6, a metric 6mm thread. So you got to look for a metric tap and die set and use that. If you do this carefully, I already tried this once before. This is actually not too bad. As you can see, I already threaded the hole itself. And now I'm threading the shaft so that it goes in there. So I'm going to cut a fairly long section of it. I'll thread. So it appears that this is a fairly soft metal, so this is a fair bit easier than cutting a thread in the hole, where I had to be much more deliberate. But that too was not too difficult. I did a couple of practice runs, and that's good. So I think we have enough thread here, which will now screw into that hole. We're going to try that now. Yeah, there's some burrs, you have to be careful. And let's try and thread our shaft on this eccentric hole, disappointingly eccentric, and voila! At least the thread works fine. Now we're going to try it on the stand mixer itself and see how that goes. Okay, here we go. We're going to grate our coconut with our new attachment. So it looks like it works fine in spite of the eccentricity, in spite of the fact that we don't really have the shaft is really not held there. The fact that we have to push the coconut against it seems to work, and we're getting grated coconut. It's right now sitting inside the shell, but let me tap it out. Oh, I have to be careful that it actually gouged all the way through there. So here you can see that we grated all the way through the shell. You probably don't want that, but fine grated coconut. I think we can declare flawless victory, and this ought to come out. So the basic idea is that it doesn't really clamp in there or anything, but pushing the coconut seems to work just fine. So that's pretty cool.